Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Um, I'm going to talk about whether or not you have fears of being alone or whether or not you have to look to other people for like approval of things you do in your life, and what changed in me um, had always been there. Like I was talking yesterday about people in my life that you would think they would know my personality from patterns. Like when somebody's been shady to me, I'm like, get away from me, you know? Like divorcing my parents when I was a teenager. Just that alone should scream independence from other people. But these people that try and break me with my using my emotions against me, um, it doesn't work. But they keep trying. It's amazing in a weird way. Um, See, I would have to respect them in order for that to hurt me, or they would have to be children, and I would have an attachment to them that I'm not going to give an adult. That's what they didn't know, that I treat my life like it's on a timer. Yeah, we all only have so much time, right? But yes, I set like it's a perimeter around me for whoever I'm dealing with. And I think in my mind, I'm giving this till next Tuesday or next year at this time, or and when that time gets there that I've set ahead of time and that nonsense is still going on, I'm done, I'm out, I'm gone. They don't even see it coming because they just think that the person that kept trying to get along, trying to argue my point with somebody that never even cared to begin with, they thought that that type of pleading for love or recognition was going to hinder me or break me or whatever, but they just don't get it until it's gone. Then it will probably dawn on them. But yeah, that's I don't tolerate stuff like other people, and that's where they lose. I'll talk more about it on my what I actually do in my life and why. See, because I know only weak people feel the need to try and break somebody else. There's something inside them that is, well, it is controlled by the dark force. Whether they recognize that or not, it is what it is. I mean, they can't pretend to me that they're a decent human being while they're trying to demean me or whatever they're doing. It's like crazy. It's like if a dog peed on your leg and expected you to pet him at the same time or something. It's as crazy as that to me. You know, that reminds me, I'll tell you a little story in a moment here. It was so funny. I almost died from laughter inside myself just a second from somebody that was cruel like this to me in my life. Seriously, calling me names, belittling me, everything this woman could do to try and make me lose my self-confidence. My adopted mom, we had gone, we meaning my adopted dad and mom and brother that was adopted, and me and my dog. My dog. Oh geez. So we all get out on the ice. We're out on this lake and we're gonna ice fish. and my mom sat down like on a bucket or something, and I don't know, I might have been just sitting in the snow because I had like snow pants or snowmobile outfit on something. I can't remember. But my dog gets out and he's running around peeing on everything. And I couldn't even talk. I could not speak. I could not warn her. I was so stunned. It set me so aback. My dog's running around peeing. He walks up to my mom and pees on her back. I was just flabbergasted. She's, she's to day, to this day, it was one of the most wonderful moments I had ever experienced. It was like total, total retribution right in front of me that something bad would happen to somebody that hated me so much. You know, it's like, wow, it was beautiful. I'm still laughing about it, and this is like 60 years ago. You know? That's how funny it was. Yeah, that's some funny stuff. But I mean, I see these things happen to people that are cruel to me. I know why it's happening to them. I know why they're cruel to me too, but that's their problem, because I'm stronger than them and I'm wiser than them, So it's just something that's in them that they can't live with. Um, well, they can't live without it either, but that's also their problem. It's like people don't want to respect me or love me, but they don't want to let me go either. So I make it easier for them. I let go first. You know, I don't play with people if they can't decide whether they want me in their lives or not, especially when they're related to me. It's like, I'm done, you know? So, but yeah, that was super, super funny, if you can imagine. You would have to have known how cruel this person was in order to see the entire humor of the situation. Like, that was great. I didn't even, I didn't telepathically wish my dog did that to her. It wasn't none of my doing, and he could have peed on any lump of snow or anything like he was doing before he decided she looked like a good spot to relieve himself. So I had nothing to do with it. That was wonderful. And keep in mind, this is a high ranking witch. This is a worthy matron of the Eastern Star. It was so funny. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. So, anyway, they're never going to break me. And I used to, like with my sons, I would be up night after night and crying and racking my brain. What can I do? What can I say? How can I help? I mean, all of this, taking the whole world on my shoulders for people that could never even care less, So, and they have fear in their lives, fears that I don't have, that they can't overcome. And a lot of people are controlled by their fears, like fear of being alone or fear of not being wanted or loved or whatever. I treat life like an adventure, and I've ran across a few people that I actually miss, and I loved them, and in different states where I've lived, and people I've lost touch with, and but the memories there of the good people that I've encountered, and I do know the difference between a healthy relationship and a not healthy relationship. So yeah, I just stick to the good feelings that I can gather out of any given situation and let the rest go, you know. So I can't convince somebody to have respect where they should, or there's something lacking in them that is incompatible with the strength in me. And they see it, and I know it, and they know it, but they pretend it's not true. They pretend I'm weak. They hope I'll crumble, but it's not going to happen. Ever. No matter who they are. I don't care. I really don't. I can't. If I cared what other people thought about me, um, I'd be a mess. you know. So, over in Russia, there's two types of lawyers or attorneys. Um, one that'll work for the people, and the other one that works for the state. We have a friend um, that just won his first court case. He works for the people. Way to go, Kay. That's so cool. Totally awesome. I have a big respect for somebody that's out for the people, not the state. You rock. That's just fucking awesome. I love it when young people have their shit together and make a difference in the world. That's pretty cool. Whatever they do that they do best, you know, uh, giving credit where it's due, you know. Yeah, I'll never give somebody credit for something they don't do. yes. Anyway, yeah. So, um, there's a movie. It might have been a book. It was called The Unsinkable Molly Brown. It reminds me of me. You know, so I either read it or watched it or both. One of them through the years. Long time ago. That's why I don't really remember the whole thing. I just remember it was based like, oh, in the Wild West, I do believe. And she was not like a Annie Oakley or one of them. There's another woman that was famous for her horsemanship and her uh, shooting skills and whatever. But let's see. Calamity Jane. yes, Calamity. What a good name. Yeah, that would have been a good name for me. But yeah, anyway. I was first called Kathleen Marie, and then I was called Baby Girl in the orphanage and taken somewhere and brought back. So I think they must have named me for a couple weeks while I was being abused and ended up with a herniated umbilical cord that I wasn't born with, but went back to the orphanage with. Um, but yeah, and then they named me Barbara Susan, which means stranger or strange lily, or alien, you know. So they name me appropriately because I really don't fit in. I don't have any desire to fit in these groups of people that they're on one side of something and another side of something else, and I just don't care about none of it. I really don't. Yeah. Whatever people want to do, I don't care. Keep it away from me. I've seen some strange stuff. I could have lived without seeing that, you know, but or hearing things, but that's whatever, you know. Yeah. So anyway, it's not like I'm running around trying to break people's egos or um, inflict any kind of harm or damage or sadness into their life. It's that I'm not going to retaliate. I'm not going to do nothing to nobody. I'm just distancing myself from people that live in drama. It's like their whole life, they don't know the meaning of peace. Literally, they don't. And um, it's something I surround myself with. So, or it better be that way, or I'll make it that way. And I might get radical to acquire my peace. I used to not. Well, that's not true. No, I will get radical to acquire my peace, especially in my own home, whatever it takes. But I've had so many people betray me for the only reason is because I had attributes and qualities about myself that they didn't want to garner for themselves, but wanted to punish me for having those attributes that they do not have. They can pretend they have them. I mean, you can go out there and pretend that you have moral virtues all day long and not actually have them. But then there's me that actually has them, and they have to face that, you know? It's like when you're in a relationship with a cheater. You have decisions to make. Are you going to tolerate that? Are you going to overlook it? Are you going to forgive it? Or are you going to move on? Or are you going to do the same thing they did? That's what people tried to get me to act like them. Like they were a cheater, so they wanted me to do the same thing. No, I just got rid of your dumb ass. You want to go be free? Be free without me. I'm already free. I don't need that. you know? So, yeah, I'm not walking down that dirty road with your filthy ass. I'm done. I have my own path already carved out. I don't follow anybody, you know? So, yeah. I'm just really aware of other people's feelings and emotions and why they act the way they act and what they think they're going to accomplish with absolutely nothing. Well, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I feel bad in a certain way. I also feel good in a certain way because there's things that's going to happen on this planet by forms of retribution that I have nothing to do with, but people call onto themselves by their own actions. And then I can sit back and watch what happens to them because of that. I don't take glee in it. I mean, I might, but at this moment, I'm not. Maybe someday I'll be laughing, but like I did with that dog peeing on her, you know. But right now, I'm not laughing about sorrows or other people's sorrows or, or their pretense of that. I do get a little bit of a chuckle when people try to control me, though, especially through emotions that I don't run on, you know. Um, I have a certain connection with the universe that is a safety net, and I'm always guided by my higher self, you know. I don't listen to anybody. If I did, my world would be a whole lot different than it is. I would be a mess, and I'm just not willing to cry anymore for people that don't ever consider me as a human being, you know. There's always, whether it's like I say, I'll adopt you. Are you the age of my children? you know, there's always fish in the sea. There's always somebody else that's brighter, uh, more loving, intelligent, whatever, that I can communicate with that will let me know that I can live a full life even without my kids, even without parents. I can have a full life and feel satisfied and happy within myself without absolutely anyone else. It's a bonus. If I can get close to another human being, that's a bonus. If not, I'm not going to let it weigh me down or worry about it, because that's the times we're living in where people are not balanced, you know. So, but it's just like one after another. If it isn't one person, it's another one. And they're always trying to get to me like that. It's like pretend friends. Oh, we love you and all this. Then the next thing you know, they're they start with the questions. And then when you answer some of the questions, then they feel like they have the right to examine and dissect, and because you just opened the door a little bit, so these fools think that, oh, you not only opened the door, now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to take control. But it doesn't work like that with me. you know I don't care who they are. My emotional strength and my ability to overcome sadness and turn it into, okay, it's just like the other day my heart was a little bit sad. You know what I did? I started exercising. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna break me? I'll just get stronger. And that's the way my mind works. Try and break me, I'll just turn it into a tool to advance myself in some other way. So it never works for them, but they keep trying, you know. That's the funny part. Oddly enough, it's really weird. the amount of people, it's not just a few people. It's just about like everybody can be used like that. It's just amazing to me. Just, it blows my mind. It's like, wow. And I think, okay, what next? It's exciting. It's like, who's going to try and come up against me now? And what do you think you're going to do? And how do you think you're going to do it? Because I anticipate it, you know. I've already thought it out, you know, exactly what's going to happen. And it isn't going to be in your favor. So, you know, that's how you get blessed by not harming other people. You know, it's a real thing. If you actually do not have a vengeful nature about you, um, the world's your oyster, you know. I'm not saying I have never gotten revenge, and I'm not saying that steps that I've taken to get people out of my life didn't include any type of vengeance or anything. Oh, I'm capable of it. It's just not my nature. I don't want to be put in that position, so I stay away from people that would do things, the underhanded type of stuff to me and everything. It's like, I see you coming. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, of course I do. Especially when you put a person on this earth and they were inside of you. Let's see, a lot of women don't talk about this, but maybe you can relate. When you're carrying a child, you feel the ancestors of that child. You get visions of it all. It's a fact. At least I did. And then you know who this person is. They can say, I've had my kids try and tell me that they know me because they're related to me, but what they forget is they're half of something else. That's not me. So you can understand a part of me, but you do not entirely know me, you know. And they could think, oh, you could think, okay, you're like your father, um, but you're still only half of that. Also, people being their own human beings and whatever, we're never entirely like another soul, ever. Thank God. Well, anyway, I guess some people get on the blessing train and others get on the lessening train. So, and that's their lessons. You just got to let them go through it. You can't hold the hand of a monster and pretend that that's love, or there's something real there that's tangible that you need in your life, because you do not need a baby monster to remind you that there's wicked in this world. We all know there is, you know? Yeah. So I do anticipate more shenanigans always. I'm sure it will never end. for them. I mean, I'm always rock steady where I am by myself, and no matter what happens, I'll deal with it in the best way possible, you know. I'm not the one that has to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life because I've done wrong to people. And that wouldn't be, and, if people can't sleep well in their lives or have to medicate themselves in order to get good sleep, uh, you're not blessed, are you? That's pretty simple, isn't it? You know, people are like, oh, I have trouble sleeping or I'm not comfortable. Gee, I wonder why that is. Maybe you should start making some better choices in your life for yourself and stop worrying about trying to drag other people down to where you're at. Pretty sad when I have kids that would rather see me homeless than help me build my place, you know. Yeah, 'cause they're lazy. I'm serious. If you had a parent that would offer you land or a place or anything, and all they had to do was participate, I mean, fine, if you don't like me, stay the fuck out of my life. Who asked you? You know? Did I invite your bullshit? No, I didn't. But I'll deal with it. Uh, I just wanted to talk some more about my strength, my emotional strength. That's the most precious thing in the world to me. And making sure I never follow a leader. I'm my own leader, you know, and that's the way people should conduct their lives. It's like realize two things. There is a creator, and you aren't that. After that, it's pretty simple. Just be a decent human being. I had somebody tell me they were Odin and pretty much like I was going to go to hell or anything or some bullshit. And I was like, well, actually, I don't bow to Satan. He bows to me. So we're buddies. you know. So anyway, that's a dark joke. Anyway, everybody, I love you. I appreciate you joining me. I'm going to get this uploaded. Have a really beautiful night or day wherever you're at. Peace.